Hey, what's going on to you, Aries out here? Hope y'all are having a great day. So we're going back to the angel tarot. So you, Aries, have the five of Raphael, the king of Ariel, and then you, Aries, also have the eight of Raphael. So let me see, right? Let me see. Let me sit back. Y'all are the ones that gave me the most views, so y'all get the first readings, right? And Aries is always a sleeper. Y'all are a zodiac sign that where I don't, you know, it's the wild card that gets kind of thrown into the hat because I don't know. Y'all can seem to be the ones that give me the lowest views, and then out of nowhere I go to sleep. Y'all give me the most views. So I try to never sleep. I do never sleep on Aries, but um, there's tremendous amounts of regret. To kind of piggyback off of the last reading that I did for you, Aries. Go back and check if you want to. Um, there's a huge amounts of regret from this person. That's why it is that the last time, which was 2 days ago, you actually got the Six of Cups, because this Six of Cups represents them and how it is that they came back because this individual feels very embarrassed because you don't need them. And they're trying to test your interest level. That's why the hot and cold. They're trying to test your interest level because they're incredibly insecure. People who do stuff like that, they deliberately do things to test a person's interest level. That's a sign of insecurity, you know, because relationships should really be based upon just treat me the way that you want to treat me. You know what I mean? And the person will either decide to stick around or not. But regardless, that's how healthy relationships should really be. It shouldn't be this thing where they gotta constantly test you, Aries, over and over and over again. But the five of Raphael represents regret. They most definitely feel regret that but at the same time, are they learning from their lessons? Like, yeah, they feel regret because they may have played a game and it didn't work, but is it about the game that they played not working, or is it about the fact that you, Aries, decided to, or excuse me, or is it that they actually learned a lesson when you, Aries, decided to leave them alone? And then the King of Ariel represents them. It represents how this person is very into games, right? Like, they're generally into games. They like playing games with people. The eight of Raphael speaks to how, in a sense, because of that, this is a situation where they can't really keep it 100 because of that fact. They are very much so a chameleon, right? Regardless of whoever, they like to surf. You know what I mean? They don't really they like to be very meticulous about how it is that they come off to people, because that's what they use to kind of rope people in, right? But of course, that didn't work with you, Aries. The eight of Raphael represents you were able to see right through that, and that's why it is that you, Aries, decided not to really spend too much time, because part of it is the time that you spend. You also end up roping yourself in because of how much time you invest. That's part of the reason why you'll see so many people, when you'll hear them talk about these dysfunctional relationships, you'll ask them, like, why did you stay so long? And it's like, oh, because I invested so much. And that's a part of what does get them caught up, because they need to just leave those individuals alone, right? It doesn't matter about how much you invested, right? Cut your losses, basically, or detach your losses and run, right? And that's what happened with you, Aries, right? It became charity work. Like, it is what it is. You wasn't gonna stick around in it, but it became charity work because no matter how much this person, you know what I mean, made themselves look like a king or a queen, and they made themselves look, real fly and all of that. The Ten of Michael, they're still incredibly insecure. And this is the proof of it. And them running game on you, trying to get you, Aries, to chase up on after them, it didn't work. Y'all been over here too long. Y'all been soaking up game. Y'all been over here way too long for that to work on you. And so it didn't work. So now they're trying to figure out, well, what the F? What's going on, right? The Knight of Michael represents how, and they don't understand you. But the Knight of Michael represents they won't understand you because for you Aries, right? You don't fall into that. You know what I mean? Like it looks weird to me when like this is why it is that it be saying that like people can't be friends without somebody getting involved like that, because like you'll just be explaining to somebody your life and they'll be testing your interest level, and you're like, you'll try to work out some sort of like business or some professionally or whatever, and like they'll flake on the professionalism, right? Or what the two of you had agreed upon, because they're testing your interest level. And it's like that shows a lack of leadership skills on their part. That shows a lack of understanding, a lack of vision. They are unclear as to how they should handle the situation. So they, in their act of desperation for attention or whatever, or to be wanted or whatever it is, because it's insecurity, they interact with you, Aries, completely wrong. Like if they don't want to contact you anymore or whatever, that's one thing, right? Then you don't have to justify yourself. But if that's true, right? But for the most part, it's usually not true. For the most part, what you got going on here, my dear Aries, is, people just testing your interest level. But it goes to show you how insecure they were, the Six of Cups person, because of the fact that you got to understand the kind of internal conversations that they're having with themselves for them to constantly be testing your interest level in the first place. That's lame. That shows weakness. I don't care what anybody tries to make it seem. That's weakness, because why are they so interested in your interest? Like, yeah, maybe you Aries are interested, but you would be interested regardless of if they're testing your interest level or not. That's the point. And the situation with that is you Aries, like trying to get to know them, that was literally the point. They don't have to run game in the first place. And yet they're so much on a short yellow bus, unfortunately. They did it anyway. And I've asked this question before. Do you know how stupid somebody looks when you want them to have it, but yet they feel like they got to play you in order to have it? When you want them to have it and you're offering it before they were trying to run game on you. It's like, what? So now the Emperor, which is Aries, and the Empress, Aries, Libra, right? That power dynamic. A lot of you Aries are demonstrating or showing your versatility. You're not just a person that got a body or whatever the case may be, you looking good or whatever. You also have a mind on you as well, right? A lot of the things that you Aries do is deliberate. You planned out a lot of the things that you get. The successes in you Aries' life is not just a matter of mistake or dumb luck or something like that. You Aries actually plan those things out. So this just goes to show why these people, to kind of piggyback off of that, but also this reading, because some of that flowed into this one, why this person that came back that's dealing with that grief has an issue with you, right? Because they mad insecure around you, if I'm being honest with you. Because again, the Emperor, you got juice, you have influence, you have power, you have options in your life. And then the Empress, right? So because of that, you're using your mind, You're not just picking any old anybody. You know, Aries is extremely difficult to get close to. Aries is usually like, an Aries is not really going to let you get close. Aries is actually the hardest zodiac sign to get close to. You would think that that would be Aquarius. And Aquarius can be difficult to get close to. But Aries is actually the hardest zodiac sign to get close to. You will think that you will know an Aries. Come to find out, fooled you. You don't know an Aries. So unless an Aries wants you to get close, will allow you to get close, you're not going to get close. For any of the cross watchers, you're not going to get close. And I'm sorry, Aries, I got to tell some of y'all secrets. You know what I'm saying? So this person played theyself, because if they were thinking that they were going to get close to you that way, especially when you Aries were trying to let them get close, they just ruined it. They ruined it. But they ruined it because of their insecurity. They want you, but they want you in a specific way, right? They want you groveling up on after them, and it just didn't happen like that. So the thing is that the page of Gabriel speaks to how, again, you have too many tools, you have too many things to do, you have a life, you're not going to let anyone triangulate you. You know, a person can be a part of your life, but they're not your whole world. You know, they can share the world with you, but they're not your whole world. And the things that the Four of Michael and the Queen of Raphael speaks to how, and this is the thing that that person that represented the Six of Cups in the reading 2 days ago, and here you don't have the Six of Raphael energy in this. It didn't specifically come up, but like I said, some of that reading flowed into this one. So go watch that reading if you haven't, and then come back and watch this one as well. You know, slow it down, rewind it, really analyze this video, right? This is about how you basically, they ruined it. Not only that, but also you have a life to live. So you're never going to allow this person to triangulate you. It's not going to happen. You're in a situation where you have too much to do. And I've talked about this, and I'm so glad that a lot of y'all understanding what it is that I've been saying for the longest time. The best way to get over a person who is trying to use you and treat you like trash is to not let them triangulate you. Don't let anybody triangulate you. Why? Because triangulation, letting someone triangulate you, is worship. You don't worship anybody. Worshiping aligns you and puts you in a position of weakness, because when you worship something or someone else, that means that you are living for that person's or ideas. You're living for that thing's purpose. So you can never actually truly be free. Okay, you can never, I'm getting notifications. You can never actually be truly free due to the fact that you'll always be constantly living for this person, because you've allowed them to triangulate you, or they've broken you to a point of triangulation, run all kind of games. But when you have a life and you go, I got things to do, I got family to see, I got a, you know what I'm saying? I got a dog, go outside, work out. I was at the track a couple of days ago. I'm doing my thing. Like I said, I'm finally starting to get back out there to the track because it's warm enough. I've been waiting for it. When you have a life that you practice living that, it's like the person can never triangulate you no matter what game they run, because you have things to do, right? And you're doing it at a high level. So the Queen of Raphael speaks to how, and that's where it is that they can never have you. But that's the thing that they really want. They want you to be groveling up on after them, because that's the only kind of way that they can like ensure or guarantee that you Aries would actually really like them. And that's the stupid part. So let's clarify the Queen of Raphael. the Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and then you, Aries, also have the Ace of Swords, right? Again, you have too many things to do. Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Cups speaks to how you, Aries, you know, people can give you any kind of offer, but they have to be the options. When, you know, what will entice you, Aries, right? Or incentivize you, Aries, to do so, to choose them, is they gotta show up, but they have to show up on point. And what I mean when I say show up on point, I'm not talking about this social media eligible version of a bachelor where the person gotta be perfect and have everything all together. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about even willing and emotionally open to be getting to know you. Because what you're seeing is, honestly, you've seen a lot of like people who are like really chicken squats when it comes to dating, right? They figure, oh, I don't really want to invest any of my time towards getting the person. It's like, so how you gonna get to know the person for real, if you don't invest anything? So what you're seeing is some people are just cutting and running, like, oh, time to bounce. But then the Queen of so they have to be on point. And then the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords represent, otherwise they thinking that they're just gonna come in and run stuff and run the town, be the new sheriff in the town and all that. That ain't gonna work for you. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Peace. Y'all are doing y'all thing.